BBC Whooniverse.
You're watching the TGM production.
Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Whovian News. I am your host, Tom Mason. Today's main headline is broadcast dates revealed for the war between the land and sea, written by Doctor Who.tv. The next adventure to Into the Whooniverse is set to launch with a double bill on BBC iPlayer and BBC One on 7th of December. The BBC have announced that the highly anticipated series, The War Between the Land and Sea, is set to launch with a thrilling double bill on Sunday the 7th of December from 8:30pm, simultaneously on BBC iPlayer and BBC One. The 5-part series follows Barclay Russell Tovey, a low-level unit staff member whose ordinary life becomes a world of terror when the ancient species rise from the sea. Barclay becomes a humanity ambassador when the mysterious salt emerges from the tank at a summit on the Thames, unit led by Kate Lethbridge Stewart. Gemma Redgrave, for anyone that didn't know, fights for the control as humanity faces destruction. Alongside Russell Tovey and Gemma Redgrave, and the person that's playing our main mysterious villain, Salt. Or whether or not Salt's a villain or not, it doesn't actually state that, featuring star-studded. Russell T Davies, showrunner, writer and executive producer, says, "We're so proud to launch this show at the height of the schedule and when all 5 episodes will combine to make a terrific box set to watch over the Christmas holidays." The series is produced by Bad Wolf and BBC Studios for the BBC and Disney branded television, which launched the double bill on BBC iPlayer and BBC One in the UK 8:30pm on the 7th of December, exclusively as Disney Plus outside of the UK, where available in 2026. The series was created by Doctor Who showrunner and executive producer Russell T Davies, who has written the series with executive producer Pete McTighe. In addition, with executive producer from Bad Wolf are Joel Collins, Julia Gardner and Jane Tranter. The series is directed by Donna Holmes-Williams, with Laurie Baffer serving as the show's composer, or computer, depending on who you want to ask. So that means that, what I've read further on from that doesn't say in the article, that the first week, 7th of December, we get a double bill. The week after, we get a double bill. So episode 1 and 2 one week, 2 and 3 the other, and the final episode the week after. So the 21st of December will be the final episode. Now, not only on the 7th of December will we get the war between the land and sea, we'll also get the very next headline all the way from the BBC Press Office. Special re-edited edition of classic Doctor Who adventure The Sea Devils heads to BBC iPlayer and BBC 4 on 7th of December. The classic episode starring John Pertwee has been newly re-edited ahead of the creature's return. In the war between the land and sea. They made a typo. Ooh, that needs fixing. 52 years after their first rose from the depth. It's the Sea Devils. Dun dun dun. Across the BBC. A great idea never dies, and the viewers, young and old, now heed the warnings. Watch the sea. fans are set to be transported back to 1972, when the newly re-edited version of the classic Doctor Who story, The Sea Devils, airing on BBC iPlayer from 6 a.m. and BBC 4 at 7 p.m. on the 7th of December, ahead of the foe's highly anticipated return in the war between the land and sea, 8:30 p.m. on BBC iPlayer and BBC One. This new 90-minute blockbuster features condenses CONDENSES. The original 6-part adventure into a feature-length experience with updated sound effects by Mark Ayres, AYRES, and embraced scores featured in the war between the land and sea, created by the legendary Laurie Baffert, spelled LORNE space BALFE, which has been woven together with Malcolm Clarke's groundbreaking 1972 music. The Sea Devils star John Pertwee, who played the Doctor between 1970 and 1974, alongside Katie Manning as companion Joe Grant, and features the iconic villains, the Master, played by Roger Delgado, written by Malcolm Hook, and directed by Malcolm E. Bryant, and the story introduces audiences to the formidable foe. Will this cut include the famous shot where Roger Delgado is watching the clangers? Who knows if that was cut out or not, because I want that to stay in, because it's a brilliant shot. I even made it onto QI that one time. Let's continue with the article. Russell T. Davies, showrunner, writer, executive producer, says 52 years after they first rose from the depth, it's Sea Devil Night across the BBC. A great idea never dies, and viewers young and old can now heed the warning. Watch the seas. Yes, I'm always going to say it like that now. The special version of the Sea Devils will air on BBC iPlayer from 6 a.m. and BBC 4 at 7 p.m. on Sunday the 7th of December. Yes, I'm happy for it to be on 7 p.m. It's a newly re-edited edition of the Sea Devils, so I don't know whether or not adding it on the iPlayer at 6 a.m. is a good thing. Personally, I would rather, like the colorizations, wait to watch it go out live. But I understand that people are busy at 7 and they've got stuff to do before they can sit down to watch the new Doctor Who spin-off at 8:30. So I understand that it might not work for everyone. So being on the iPlayer earlier means that they've got time to do that. I'm not too sure, but I think I understand why they've done that. And it makes all the world of sense. The Sea Devil is produced by Bad Wolf and with BBC Studios for BBC 4 and iPlayer. And yeah. So overall, I am very much, what's the correct word? Very much excited for the spin-off. I'm excited for the newly re-edited 90 minutes. Some people have got upset because it does mean we might not get the colorization this year. But it is exciting the news has come out. But it could have they could have waited until the Doctor Who Day to release all the news. Because what are you going to get on Doctor Who Day? A trailer? Maybe. But not much else. I want to see something interesting. I want news for Doctor Who Day. That would have been brilliant news for Doctor Who Day. At least one of them. But at the moment, I'm excited for it. What will happen in the spin-offs? Who knows? What will happen in the 90-minute special that we didn't get from the original? Who knows? But there you have it. Thank you guys for watching. This has been Whovian News. I've been your correspondent, Tom Mason. Bye-bye.
Don't forget to subscribe to the official Tom Mason YouTube channel.